Respectfully. So, when you Google Chi Alpha, some of the first things that come up are Chi Alpha scandal, why I left Chi Alpha cult. Back in the day, I could just laugh off the whole Chi Alpha cult thing because my innocence was intact. But on campus, this year, I personally have had to field questions from students who have Googled us and are familiar with us outside the context of the press releases and the face-saving stuff. And I'm over here having to try and talk about this organization that I have dedicated my adult life to without any information whatsoever. So now, the question that I have to ask is, how do I address that with just Joe Schmo's student when I myself do not know whether I can trust my national leadership to prioritize justice over saving face? Respectfully. How do I feel that with students?
Well, you just threw out several different things. My brain's gone several different directions, okay? So one, I would like to throw out one thing, first of all. How many of you are actively participating and you do stuff with Wikipedia? Anybody has a Wikipedia poster? There are people who really get into that, right? We have been hacked like nobody's business. National Chi Alpha on Wikipedia, oh, it's ridiculous. And every time I've tried to get somebody to change it, they're like, well, whoever these people are have higher clout in the Wikipedia world. Well, somehow we got to get some folks who can sponge off some of that. Because in Wikipedia world, you can say anything, and man, it's loaded with all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's one piece of it. The Google algorithms, all that kind of stuff. We need to get some computer science people, and by the way, I do really believe that we need to saturate the interweb with positive Chi Alpha stories. And I just think you just got to get some good videos out there, YouTube, people loving Jesus, lives changed, all that kind of stuff. Boom. That's not going to change anytime soon. Now, what you said there, I'm going to let Nick talk about it. Saving face of the organization.
I learned a long time ago, you can't control what people think.
Yeah.
And so I keep my head down and I do what Jesus asked me to do. And I really trust him to sort it out. I know that's frustrating. I know that means being misunderstood. But at some point there's a limit. You will spiral down the path of trying to explain and answer everything. I think the best answer is to have the healthiest, most impactful local Chi Alpha, and that will answer the questions. And I know that's not the greatest answer, but you'll chase the path.
I do think we just have to also remember Jesus' words that blessed are you if you're persecuted because of righteousness. And so we know that it says in Matthew, if you go out, I send you out like sheep among wolves. And I want you to go out and not try to draw attention to yourselves, but know that even if you do it in the right way, people will impugn your motives and they will smear your reputation. Jesus promised us this. And so even if we're doing all the right things, Jesus has already promised us people will impugn our motives and smear our reputation. And so thank God for the promises of Christ, that they are true, and that they're true for us on campus. Like whether we're facing this scandal right now, or whether we're known as a cult on the campus, what I know is every student that comes into UCA Chi Alpha, they have to already fight through the thing that probably somebody said to them, oh, that's a cult. And they still showed up. Like, they still showed up. And I don't let it bother me too much. Like, if you look at the definition of cult, it's not really that bad anyway. It's like, it really, look it up. It's like, it's just people with an extreme set of beliefs. Well, I think more and more so in this world, my beliefs about Christ are becoming more extreme relative to the culture. Okay with me?
All right, so think really kind of the heart of what you were saying, let me see if I got this correct. I really feel like part of the heart of what you were trying to say is, how do I defend the organization when I'm not sure if I trust the organization?
That would be correct, my guy.
Okay. I feel pretty good about that.
I'm sorry.
I don't have an answer for that, but I feel really good that I had the gift of interpretation on your question. Nick may have a different take on this, but basically this. I don't know all the reasons and the motives for what's happened and how Springfield has handled things. But I am going to go back to, I leave Dallas and January starts. It's time to read students. It's time to be about my Father's business. And I can respectfully ask. I can respectfully do all these things. I can't give all the answers. I don't feel like I really have to defend my organization that much. I'm going to stick to what I can control. And that's what happens on a Thursday night on the campus of the University of Louisiana. So.
I think it's trust. Trust is built over time. When it's broken, it takes a lot of time to rebuild it. And I can't. I always try to give opportunity for people to defend themselves. I think there's very good reasons to feel like trust is broken. But what I would say is there's two things you can do with that. One, you can say, so this is awful and there's evil people and I don't have anything to do with it, I'm going to go and do something else. Wherever you go, you're going to find other people who don't make perfect decisions. And you're going to find other organizations that, I was talking with someone recently about that their organization was under attack. And they said, and I asked, I said, well, why don't you just create another organization? Because then you can be in charge and lead it and take it and never have problems. And he said, yeah. And then we would probably corrupt that. And I think that's true. And so we need to hold the structures lightly. We need to always defend the absent. Like, I can't tell you what Tim Barker believes. Tim Barker needs to tell you what he believes. I can't tell you what Doug Clay believes. I can ask him, and if he gives me permission to tell you, then I can tell you. But what I want to do is, trust is restored by being patient and listen, and it's brick by brick. It's never a big swing. It's just brick by brick. How will the organization act in the next 6 months, 1 year? And so I would just say there's no perfect organization. There's no perfect people. As I think Matt said so clear earlier, the unshakable part of the kingdom. But we need to go forward in the mission, and we need to give it time to rebuild trust. And that's what I would ask from, as a networking leader, that's what I would ask.